Good evening. It is Rabbit Culture of Narcissist Ninjas. Had to redo my video here for a whole bunch of different reasons. Excuse me. I'm always trying to stay somewhat anonymous, and every now and then I slip up. I realize, and I have to come back. And also, I had some technical difficulties. I'm learning all about this stuff, though. I enjoy this. I enjoy learning new things always. And I can see why people get to like this process. It's fun. You may hear my bird in the background. I tried doing a video with her in the other room, and she just screamed a blue murder. So she's gonna have to stay in the background. Right now she's on the floor playing with a puppy. Every now and then she may scream, she may throw a box at me, she may try to climb my leg, she may try to bite my feet. It is what it is. She's part of my life, so here I go. I guess we can start off with talking about attachment and the whole topic of this video. And I probably am more attached right now, definitely, to my animals, and I understand them, their moods, their needs, their wants. I can tell when my bird is hungry, when she's cranky, when she needs to be alone, when she wants some water, when she wants to take a bath. I mean, I've lived with her almost 12 years, and I've gotten to know her ways, and I've bonded with her. Come on now, puppy, stop that. I'm trying to do this. I'm bonded, and animals are not unlike humans in that way. They really aren't. It's sometimes easier to bond, at least for me, to bond with animals than humans. And when we look at the topic trauma bond, when I first heard the term, I said, what is that? Another narcissistic term that I had never heard before in my life. I heard of trauma and I heard of bond, but I didn't hear them put together. And when they came together and I started to research this topic, so much in my life made sense. And it really, really, really changed my direction. Basically, trauma bonding is when you attach yourself to someone who basically treats you like crap. And you can't seem to stop caring about them, to stop doing things for them. You're bonded to them. And of course, if you're bonded to someone who's not treating you well, then that's unhealthy. It's not a good idea, right? Think of a child. A small baby or child who is naturally bonded to people like their parents and their siblings and different people in their life, right? But think about if that bonding is attached to a trauma of some kind. If you put the two together, you're going to get a type of dysfunctional situation happen. And oftentimes, if an attachment is disrupted at an early age, and I've heard this all my life, you were adopted, so you're basically, the kind of people write me off because they know my early traumatic experiences probably shaped some of my behaviors over the years and some of my experiences. As we get older and look at things, we can understand these things in a different term. But when you are a kid, you develop confusion, and you either go on a path of trying to gain acceptance as much as possible from your caretakers, that's the route I went, or you go the opposite route, which is rebel and to do all kinds of acting out, which is sometimes when we look in the media and we see all these cases, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of stuff. If you look into the backgrounds of a lot of these people, you will see disrupted attachment in their backgrounds, or an attachment that is so dysfunctional that the normal process of growing into an adult doesn't happen, right? So trauma bonding comes in a form of patterning, and there's different ways that you can trauma bond. Like, for example, there's Stockholm syndrome, when the person is so attached to their abuser that they idolize them. And but I think I'm going to make a separate video about that in the future. But in general, trauma bonding can start very young in your life, and it just becomes a pattern and a way of life and a way of living. And sometimes you don't even know. Like, the word abuse to me, I would hear it and I could reference my animals being abused and me taking them, wanting to take them out of a situation that was abusive. But when it came to myself, I couldn't say those words about my own life. And because you don't want to look at the people that you love, I mean, in a negative way. And even if, look, a lot of people that were raised by monsters, I did a video about Ted Bundy's stepdaughter, whatever. And what a hard time she had to reconcile who he really was with the person that she loved. And people that are in patternings of dysfunction like this and getting themselves, I look at my life and I just seem to go from one bad situation to another. And it took so much, I guess it was inner turmoil and pain for me to finally realize, like, what is the common denominator here? Me, right? Me. So in all our dysfunction, in all our in all our abuse, and all our dysfunctionalities, and the common denominator is me. And that's not to say you're not a victim. And as a child, you don't have a choice. But then the patterning starts in adult, and there comes a time when we have to look in that mirror and say, oh, yeah, so if I get away from narcissism, understand it, and start to acknowledge what's going on here, I can stop it from happening. So the puppy is chasing the neighbor's cat. So, like I was saying, understanding narcissism for me is not about blaming anyone else. I did plenty of stuff in my life to screw up the path of and the direction of my life. And looking back, lots of regrets, but no regrets at the same time. And that's not to say that you're always aware of everything. It took me many years to even say the word abuse, to consider the people that I had in my life that I loved and cared about were not treating me the way I was supposed to be treated. And so there's no ever shaming other people for being in a certain situation. But there does come a time when you have to look at your own patterning and even if it's the complicity of allowing yourself to be in situations, you have to look and say, why am I allowing this? Well, what's going on with me that I am in this position? So it's all been said before. It's all been done before. It's time for you to unravel that knot, that bond. Do it however you need to do it. If you need to cut that thing, cut it off. If you need to take it apart piece by piece, you see the different, weaves and webs. If you need to do it thread by dang thread, do it that way. Whatever works. The cutting it off is the easiest way. Then you just have a wound that you have to heal from. But sometimes it's not that simple. These bonds were with us sometimes for many, many years. And it takes a whole lot of information, experience, and pain sometimes to really find out what that bond is all about. I wish you the best in your journey. And please remember, you're never alone.